it's Saturday story time, and believe it or not, this is the 5th time I've tried to do this. It's just maybe not meant to be, but it's the end of the story, so we must go on. Okay, it's you now. You no doubt have been waiting for the news of Oscar and his fair, as we all were waiting. The 3 days of waiting for us was hard enough. I was glad we didn't have to wait for a letter sharing the news. Remember, Penny is writing this to her friend, and her friend says that she was so anxious to hear that it was tempting to skip ahead in the letter to see what had happened. Instead, as she read, she could feel herself drawn right back with the others as they waited that day for Oscar's arrival back to the little country farm. Each ear was tuned to hear the old familiar sound of the truck tires on the gravel driveway. At the first crunch, Molly, Putty, and the other Johnny-come-lately cat were gathered by the side of the garage by the loading corral, where Emma and the other sheep were hugging the fences, noses poked through watching. Most of the hens and Chanticleer on the other side couldn't see any of this, but they were gathered at the edge of their pens, listening. Rhoda, of course, had escaped out her hole in the fence and was on her way up to the front, running madly past the Quackmores, the ducks, waddling at their fastest pace. Penny had positioned herself on the roof and had a bird's-eye view of the whole homecoming. The truck came to a stop by the corral gate. Mr. hopped out, went around to open the other truck door and help out a very smiling and happy-looking Oscar, who called out, "Hello, everybody, I'm home." As he stepped out, it was with his head held high and with a regal stride. He still had a wide smile, and he was wearing a ribbon around his neck where it fell to rest on his puffed-out chest. "Look, I want a rip-off for the mister." Yes, we could see it, and it was not a white one. It was blue. Oscar had won first prize. We all cheered. The ducks quacked, Chanticleer crowed, the hens clucked, the sheep danced and bounced for joy as if on springs, running alongside of the proud pig as he strode back to his pen. Mister, leading the procession, opened Oscar's pen where a big meal was waiting in his trough. Reaching down, Mister ceremoniously removed the blue ribbon and hung it on Oscar's gate. Bidding him goodbye, Mister left to give Mrs. the news. As soon as the Mister was out of sight, Oscar hightailed it to the pond in the pinery and slid waist deep into the water, flopped over with his head resting on the soft grasses at the water's edge, shut his eyes, and gave a big sigh. Oh my, how nice to be home again and to be with you, Quinto and Paddle and MD too. It's like being in hog's heaven. He began talking with the ducks even before they had a chance to get a congratulations said. Fairs are wonderful, exciting places with so many new smells and faces and things to see and hear. But for all that, I would be just as happy to never go again, except I'm so glad to have won a first prize rip-off for the mister. I know he was counting on it. He shut his eyes once more, half dozing, half dreaming, while letting the sun warm his face and the coolness of the pond and mud soothe his body. One eye came open, then the other. I best go see Penelope and Chanticleer, and he got up dripping on his way. Before the day was over, he had made his rounds, even followed after Emma, chatting a mile a minute. Oscar was also seen sitting with Molly, sharing with her. At the end of the day, he went back to his pen and his waiting dinner, which he had been too excited to eat earlier. He stood before his gate, peering at the blue ribbon fluttering in the evening breeze, and felt a rush of pride come over him as he remembered all the kind congratulations that were given to him by his many friends. They were such wonderful friends, he thought, as he ate his dinner quite ravenously, as now I realized how hungry he really was. The ribbon fluttered on the gate till it was faded and tattered. Oscar continued to grow into the first-rate sire the ribbon had prophesied. He did have many sons and daughters, and one daughter named Kate that sang a contralto as smooth and rich as cream to his tenor. The end. So, that is it. If you like this story, give me a thumbs up. And I've got so used to Saturday story time that I'm going to continue on, not just with maybe stories that I've written down, fiction stories about animals, but maybe just stories about different things. So just come and see. So I hope to see you next Saturday. You have a good day and a good weekend.